What's in a name? I'm asking this question for the second time this week because the answer to what's in a name is increasingly becoming quite a lot. Case in point, Japan. The country's top court has ruled that married couples should use the same surname. 3 couples were not allowed to register their marriage simply because they wanted to keep separate surnames. The women wanted to keep their maiden surname, the men their family surname, so they could not register their marriage. The couples went to court in the year 2018. In 3 years, this case has landed in Japan's apex court. 15 Supreme Court justices sat in judgment. 5 said prohibiting separate surnames is unconstitutional. The rest disagreed. They cited a 2015 judgment that said using the same surname was well established in society. Finally, the court said the issue of surname should be settled in the parliament. But here's what the ruling added. The court has in fact found no points that should be changed from the decision in 2015, even as it takes into account the changes in the society and awareness of people. Does this sound contradictory? Well, it should, because it is. The court acknowledges the changes in society, but it sees no point in changing an old decision. Why, if I may ask, are courts so resistant to change? Let's look at what the law in Japan says. Article 750 of the Civil Code states, and I'm quoting, "A husband and wife shall adopt the surname of the husband or wife in accordance with that which is decided at the time of marriage." So what is normally decided at the time of marriage? According to data from 2015, 96% of married women in Japan use the husband's name. What about other countries? In the United States, 70% of the women adopt their husband's family name. In the UK, the number is almost 90%. Most of Europe follows a similar pattern. Iceland is an exception, though, where women mostly keep their birth name, as is the case with Spain. In case a Spanish woman takes her husband's name, she uses a prefix "the" before his surname. Also an exception is Greece, where the law mandates a woman to retain her name for life. In Norway, a lot of women keep their maiden names as their middle name. What about India? It is all for choice, thankfully. There is no law mandating a woman to change her name upon marriage. She can keep her maiden name, she can adopt her husband's name, she can have both or none. Japan is reportedly the only country that has a law forcing married couples to share a surname. Is it even relevant today? Earlier, names were a big deal simply because, apart from mirroring our social status, surnames were our identity. But today we have a social security number. We are known by our passport number, Aadhaar in India, our iris scan is our identity, our fingerprint is our identity. This allows us to play with names, make baby names out of a mathematical formula. People have done it. We've come so far, and yet we're still fighting over full signatures, maiden name versus husband's surname. We say, let this be a choice. And come to think of it, the whole idea of a surname is a bit archaic. It has patriarchy written all over it. For a woman, you either have your father's name or your husband's. Back in the times, a woman was viewed as a man's possession. A woman had no legal identity. At birth, she was to take her father's identity, and after marriage, her husband's. But we have moved on, or so we'd like to believe. Today, there are people who drop their surnames altogether. Men live with their wife's surname, couples with different surnames, or names of both families. What does it tell you? That the only thing that's sacred today is choice, and our laws must reflect this change, unless they too want to risk redundancy. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.